Love, light, and blessings. Take two. So I had recorded this video and then realized when I watched it back it was very dark. I wanted to take you to the other parts of my, but there's not good lighting in here. So when it comes, you can't. It was pitch black. So I'm just going to show you where my reading surface, where I actually do my readings. Okay, guys. So first things first. This is my timer. Literally, I do time sessions. Some readers charge per question, cards, whatever. I charge for the actual time, so you can book me for 15 minutes or a little hour, and anything in between that. So I have 15, 25-minute packages, 30-minute packages, 45 minutes, an hour. So the 25 minutes usually are specialized readings. I also have an 18-minute reading one too. Anyway, so this is for me to make sure that I keep on track and everything of that nature. I have my pendulum that I use for any type of energetic healings that I perform for clients, energy exchanges, and sometimes I do use them to for clarifying questions. Okay, so I have it dedicated to specific spirit for that. I also bought this. This is just for decorative. I love the High Priestess, and so basically I pretty much bought this candle for decoration purposes. I just love how it looks. It has the little medallion there. In my opinion, it's pretty much overpriced. Like, for a candle, that's why I'm not going to burn it. So I bought it for decorative purposes. This is my incense coffin here. Okay, where I light my incense. I got this on Amazon. I got the timer from Amazon and the pendulum as well, and I love it. It's handmade. It's purple. I know it doesn't show up as purple on camera, but that's the color. I do like to decorate my altar seasonally. This is what I got from Spencer when I was showing you guys my little Spencer haul with my daughter, the sun and the moon. I just feel like it's very autumny. I do like to decorate my reading space according to season. I got the caramel pumpkin swirl candle for my reading space. I do like to meditate prior to starting my workday, once in the morning, and then when I conclude that, right before the kids come back from school, and then when my kids are in bed in the evening, I like to do a second meditation just to get me into that reading space zone. So I do love to have sense of whatever season we're in. And so right now, to me, I'm done with summer. I'm ready to invoke the energy of autumn. I have a rose quartz here. Oh, I forgot to mention this clear quartz. That's very significant. This clear quartz, I got it, which is by my timer. I got it when I went to the South to perform an exorcism for a family member of one of my very wonderful clients that have been with me since my hotline days. And we found these crystals in a church, in a chapel, in a Catholic chapel in the hospital, and they were being blessed by this running fountain, like water fountain of holy water. So we took them. I took 3, they took 3, so on and so forth. I got this rose quartz raw piece so I could always read from a place of love. So all of my crystals are charged with an actual intention. Okay, I have a smoky quartz for psychic protection, but also to keep the technology that I use to perform my readings in check. We also have a clear quartz here just for clarity, balancing all 7 spiritual points or chakras, keeping me in alignment, contacting higher celestial beings, ancestors, spirit guides, all the beautiful things. Amethyst is good for addictive behaviors, depression, so helping to keep my mood up and everything of that nature. And so also contacting higher level entities. I have my Lama Dama candle that I burn when I do professional readings. I have a specific altar for her in my spirit room, but I do like to have candles throughout my home that just infuses that energy throughout my home. She's just a very important ancestral spirit and very important in my practice, and I just like to have her everywhere. But she's actually housed in my spirit room. So I also have the black tourmaline. I have two of them for psychic protection. My son wrote me a card, and I keep it here to remind me of why I do this work, why I work so hard, is to take care of my two younger children that still depend on me. And it's basically a card to say a very special thanks. And he wrote a really heartfelt message about all the things he's grateful for that I do for him, and it just touches my heart. It motivates me to keep going. This is my psychic reading signs that I used to have on my wall, but I replaced it with the fortune telling sign. I love it, so I want it in my reading space. Labradorite is a shaman's crystal. It's literally a crystal for that higher energy contact. They call it the shaman's crystal as well. So I work a lot with it, with ancestral energies, as well as contacting things from the other side. I usually have labradorite on my person. I have a huge labradorite ring that I wear, 2 pieces of labradorite necklaces that I have. Amethyst is the same thing. I have necklaces and rings with that as well. And clear quartz, I have a clear quartz necklace that I love to wear on occasion. So these are the 3 crystals that I always like to have somewhere around my person. Blue lace agate has become a new favorite now. Petrified wood, I was just kept dreaming of it and dreaming of it. Finally was able to find a piece. I love it. It's very grounding. It keeps me grounded. I always see the root chakra as that very grounding energy for connecting to ancestors and just staying grounded. It's very important when you are a reader, when you are a psychic person. You know, you always have the higher chakras so high, so high. Sometimes we need to come down from that high, so we need to ground to, you know, things of this world. So right now I'm working on the sacral chakra. There's always a different chakra. The other day was heart, and I did all the work for that. Usually I'll stay on one chakra for a week or 2, the most 3 weeks, and I'll bring crystals that have to do with that particular thing. It's just a coincidence that it was the sacral chakra that needed balancing. So I have a heart-shaped crystal that I always have a heart-shaped crystal to represent the chakra that's in unbalanced. So definitely working on that. The card says emotions, feelings, expressions, moods, and balance. So definitely something that I have been struggling with, keeping these emotions in balance. There's a lot of stuff going on, relationships, so on and so forth. So this has been really healing for me. I decided to move my self-love altar to my actual reading space. This is where I meditate as well as do my reading. So it has a lot of my energies imbued into it. This pouch has a sacral chakra crystal in it that I carry on my person when I'm out and about in my home. I'll anoint it with the oil that I have here. This is sacral chakra oil that I actually put on my sacral chakra, as well as my crystals and things of that nature. It's a beautiful, beautiful scent. I have this clear quartz crystal as well that sometimes I put in this pouch alongside it. A secondary sacral chakra on my altar outside of the pouch that I keep on there when I'm meditating. I like to hold this and this in my hands as well as this. And then I have this orange calcite. I love working with calcites when it comes to balancing those chakras. A very gentle crystal. And my card of focus. So I'll say mantras, I'll do meditations, and usually when I meditate I have some type of meditation music playing in the background, and I like to light a chime candle. I'll put it on this holder and it'll be like an orange candle, and I would light it to just keep that chakra in balance, and things of that nature. So this is my reading space. This is where everything takes place. And then usually in my reading space I'll have this wooden box that is where I keep my main deck for readings. And so right now it is the flatbacks. I have a lepidolite, okay, because a good mood stabilizer, a spirit quartz, and a selenite in there as well. Selenites are all over my reading decks. So that concludes my altar tour. This is what my reading space looks like. When I do my readings, I just take the deck out and put it inside the shelf here. I tried to do a tour of that, but it was too dark. I mostly read with tarot or my Arcana playing cards deck. Other than that, I may occasionally use an oracle deck, but a lot of people tend to think that I use all the decks that I show on my channel for readings, and it's not the case. I have 12 main working tarot decks that I change out on a monthly, maybe every 2 weeks or a month basis. And that just keeps things interesting for me because I've been reading for so long and I read a lot. So, but they're all decks that I've worked with maybe a few exceptions, for years since I've been reading professionally. So I have a very deep connection to each and every one of them. So, but basically, yeah, I'm a one deck person reader, maybe an oracle deck here and there, but yeah, I don't use multiple decks like that for readings, honestly. So it's like one deck, maybe two the most at one session, and things of that nature. So anyway, much love, much light, much blessings. In a future video, I will show you guys my, you know what? Maybe not. Let me show you guys what oracle decks I read with. Hold on. So these are the oracle decks, if I am going to use oracle. This one, which is the Prism Oracle deck. Sometimes I'm drawn to pull this one out for readings. Sorry for the glare. This is a very glossy deck. But yeah, sometimes I'm drawn to pull from this deck. Okay. And yeah, so for like some type of spiritual message or chakra or whatever, you know. So yeah, and it has beautiful little shimmer, but it's very, very glossy. This deck has been with me for years, since the beginning of my divination journey. Literally my first actual tarot deck, even though it's not a tarot deck. Yeah, and this is the Psychic Oracle. And this is another one that is a main working deck for me. Yeah, so it's a deck that I pull from, you know, for my readings. It's used very heavily. Yeah, so and then these are my working oracle decks. This one, the energy cards, energy oracle. Yeah, and this one as well is another one that I'll pull from and things like that. This is one of my newer acquisitions, and I find it to be beautiful. It has actually replaced my During virtual decks. Sorry for the weird lighting situation. It's annoying, but yeah, it's a really pretty one. Gorgeous artwork, and it reads really nice for me. And I used it for client readings and personal readings as well. It's just gorgeous. The artwork, the keywords, things like that. And the other one is this one. Messages from Your Guides is another one that I love to pull from when I do use oracle cards for client readings. Okay, this is a very balanced one. It has the only oracle decks I like have to have shadow cards in it, cannot be affirmations, and then arcana playing cards. Do a lot of spirit channeling with this deck. Also, I use playing cards to do spiritual investigative readings. So, all the cards are backwards here, upside down. So yeah, I take out the court cards and I use the 52 cards, and I'll do a spirit investigative reading with this. So with the 52 cards, and then when I want to just do a tarot reading, I'll use all 78 cards. So this deck gets highly used. I love using it for channeling messages and things like that. And then tarot. So I don't use a lot of decks. It's always one oracle deck and a tarot deck, or one deck of playing cards and maybe an oracle deck. And sometimes I'll have the oracle deck out and I won't even use it at all. So I don't know, but I tend to just work with one deck at a time when I do professional readings. But anyways, those are my working oracle decks. Much love, much light, much blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Until the next video, bye. If you want to work with me on a one-on-one basis, shamanic@workpieces.com. if you want to work with me on a one-on-one basis, shamanic hour pieces.